Welcome back. I didn't do a video last weekend because I was physically sore as hell. I went down 19 flights of stairs at the office building on a test fire alarm, and wow, that hurt. Um, but I am back in operation again. I have a bunch of stuff from Aliexpress, but I don't have the programmers yet for the retro board. I'm still waiting on those. Those are in transit somewhere. I just don't know exactly where they are at the moment. So sometimes stuff at AliExpress arrives really quick, ahead of other stuff I've ordered already previously, and other stuff takes forever. And for some stupid reason, I misplaced a board, and I still can't find it. It says it got delivered, so, well, anyway, let's go and have a look. So this little item here is actually for the 3D printer. These guys here, Big Tree Tech, they do a lot of 3D printer stuff. Boards, displays, free little duckies. See if I can get this to work. There you go. One ducky. What this is a big screen. Now you have to print a case around this. So the idea is you fasten a Raspberry Pi to the back side of this, the front side being the screen, and it is touch sensitive, capacitive touch sensitive. So let's open her up. Ta-da! So they got this same thing Adafruit does with theirs. They got these little plastic covers on the holes. Let me just get them off. I have a Raspberry Pi here, so we're going to put one on right away. Because you can get firmware stuff like Clipper and that actually have what they call a screen module. So it gives you the same effect I have on the Ender with the touchscreen, but this time we get our own custom Raspberry Pi, so like this. Okay. So it's going to go like this. And then there's a ribbon cable in here. Right here. That is supposed to go from this to this. What I believe on the Raspberry Pi is the display. So put it in. There we go. And then you turn around, you put it in this one. Sorry, I can't see what I'm doing here. Can't get my fingernails in there. There we go. And if I think I'm correct, it's downward. Yes, the pin edge is downward. Okay. So what we have to do is get this to go into here. Like so. Oh, I might have to do the board side. It looks like it's the harder one. This is the easier one. So we'll do this one here. Or do we put it in from this side? I don't think so. Well, maybe we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah. And then this side. Like so. And then we have this 4 screws to put in here. And I guess we need a bit of a screwdriver kit. So they give us one spare standoff and one spare screw. So good. Okay. It's not like this thing is really operating in a super speed. Like, you're not overclocking this Raspberry Pi in any way. It's basically running web services and controlling the printer. So like so. So then we have a look at the other side, and there's our touchscreen. So I have something on this Raspberry Pi, so let's find out what happens when we put some power to it. I should be able to do it from one of these cables. This one right here, which has a power switch on it. So we can put this into here. See what happens. Now, the only thing I don't know on this Pi is if you have to turn the display on. Like, you have to turn that edge connector on. It might be that we have to. There's a protection on it, so that's why it looks a little funky. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to go into the Raspberry Pi and with a normal display and find out how to turn on this. Oh wait, does this require power too? Yeah, it probably does. William. How do you get power to it? Reset. I don't think it's getting power from here. That would be pretty awesome if it did. I'm pretty sure this guy here has something to do with that. I'll have to go look it up from Big Tree. Maybe I'm missing a part from them. But in the meantime, but that's the idea behind it. And then these guys here, they go into here, so that you can. And the idea is you can print it. There's shells you can print for this. They'll put it all in, make it nice and fancy. So I will put this somewhere safe. Safe, yes. I'll just put it up here. And let's put those there for the moment. So I guess I have a little work to do with that. So next item, this. There's 2 items in here. I kind of made a little bit of an error. I thought I was getting bigger screws, but it turns out I'm just getting more of the same I had before. Very tiny screws. Now this guy here is LEDs, but I wanted a bunch of square LEDs to go along with my round LEDs. And I'm throwing stuff on the trash pile and it's just sliding off. So we got all these colors, and then we have one mixed bag here. So that's actually for a friend. So, yeah. Quickest way to test an LED, by the way. Just do this with a little lithium 3022 cell. 2032 cell. That's all. Now, I had some other LEDs here from Adafruit with the skulls and all that stuff. But I have a whole container up there full of different LEDs. Luckily, I haven't blown too many of them up. What else we got in here? Oh. This was for a friend who's getting into controllers. Oh, come on, guys. Get over there. So, this guy here. Oh, it's a little on the bright side, isn't it? Ooh, let's go down a little bit. There we go. It's a little starter kit for Picos. So you get a little case, of course. You get this one's actually really nicely done. You got where to get your support, a nice little resistor card, a set of stickers for the pins on your Pico, 2 sets. The idea is, one of the problems with the Pico, of course, is the numbering is on the bottom. So what this does, it lets you put a set of row of stickers on a Pico so that you have them on the top of the thing. And then, of course, this is a Pico pinout card. And then you get a bunch of stuff with it, you know, displays, rheostats, speakers, jumper cables, resistors, motors, joysticks, battery. And buried under here, besides some LEDs, is the Pico. And a little breadboard. So it's a little complete kit. And I thought he might enjoy that, so I got it for him. And I will add into the kit, if I can close the lid. Yeah, just barely. The extra LEDs. So that's for him. What else do we got in here? Oh, this guy. So we had these displays around here. Where did I have one of them? So we had these guys here. Well, don't need that. We have 4. 2x2, 4x4, and here should be some 5x5s. I think I got 10 of each. Same idea as these. So this was 3-wire. This I think is 4-wire. Is it? Oh, an extra ground. Okay. Okay. Not really truly 4-wire, just it has an extra ground on it. Okay. This was for my 3D printer. I kind of opened it up already, but I actually haven't quite opened it up. This is one tough packing bag. I think I still have to cut some more on it. So in 3D printing land, there is all types of beds you could be printing on. It's pros and cons to the beds. This happens to be a type of fiberglass. It actually has a very specific name for it. And in this case, there's should be 2 pieces in here. Yeah. So it's a different surface than a glass surface. So you put it on your bed, you put some paper clips around the edges to hold it in place so it doesn't shift. And you have to take, of course, the coatings off. But it's supposed to have good thermal transfer and a good adhesion. And it's not, you can feel it, it's slightly textured. And some people swear by this one and saying this really does a slick job. Good adhesion versus smoothness. Like the PEI bed I'm using right now on the Ender, you have to keep it extremely clean. If you don't, your adhesion goes all nutso. Okay. Last item, I think, in the bin. Yeah, that's it. This one here is just an electronics project I want to do. I already had the single Bluetooth speaker one I built. This is actually a double with a little remote control and some other stuff on it. Kind of like an improved version. Not bad. Wow, that's a lot of plastic. So there it is. And I think there's a picture on the instruction sheet what it looks like. Looks like this. 2 speakers at the edge. There's a front display thingy. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, see, there's the front. A little remote control. I'm going to very carefully put that in there, and that will be something I work on. Okay. Now, step... Oh. Yep. One duck. So I did also do some updates on the system. Let me flip over to one of these screens. That one? Yes. So I was working on... just one sec. I got to go get the controller. It's over on the other table. So there's been a number of updates. I mean, Visual Studio Code has jumped quite a bit. I still had to rebuild for the CircuitPython side for that extension. I still don't know. I thought I put a bug in for this, but he keeps erasing one key file when he builds. So when you do a git clone of his stuff, which is, whoops, you're not even seeing it. There we go. And you go into the stubs. I think it's the stubs. No, the scripts. Now, the new script he's got, this build stubs, works a lot better than the old script did. But I still had to do a couple of things in it. Let me switch to Vibe because I believe we'll get color syntax highlighting when we do that. Yeah, there we go. This one right here. I found that when you build from his stuff and you do it, it likes to run this command, and I found that this command removes that key file called board in the stubs directory. Not very good. You need it because otherwise you'll get a thing that says, I don't know what board is. That particular include on, Python include that you have on practically every microcontroller that uses CircuitPython. So, and I think there was one other thing you had to do in here that I had to rem out. Oh yeah, he fixed the Python environment. That was the other one. So that wasn't working. I used to rem the where it said make a this guy right here, the Python 3-MMV environment. I don't have to anymore. It actually works properly now. That's all fixed. It's just that one little line, RM, that board line. So I'm not really changing the files per se. And I'm building exactly the same set of modules, except you end up with one more file called a build file. And I think in here, cd stubs. Yeah, so for example, this one is built and it's incorrect because there's no board module in here. You expect to find it in the B's right in here. Yeah. But basically, it goes out and gets all the parts and builds the stubs directory and the boards directory, basically. Those two areas. Was it stubs and... Yeah, stubs and boards, basically. And all you do is you replace them in your extension. You'll find those two directories there in the extension. I just move them out of the way and then copy these two in place, and things are good. But I was working on ESP IDF update, this guy right here. So if I plug this guy in, okay, that guy right there, and we do file open folder. I'm still fighting one thing in this ESP IDF all the time. I think it was the right directory I was working on. When you go to here, the C code, first of all, this error you're seeing here, the squiggly, you're never going to get rid of it. It's like this line becomes active when you are actually building. When you're not building, it can't figure itself out. It's kind of dumb. And I've read up on it, and it's just a pain in the butt just to think. What I was after was the IntelliSense in here. See, it's still not doing quite where the way is. And there's still a couple of issues in here. Not sure why. It doesn't stop this from building or anything like that. I mean, I can go here and do a full make clean. And go to terminal, for example, and build the project. I mean, all we're building is the blank program for this for the moment. I did find out, though, when I upgraded to the 5.0 framework, I didn't have Ninja and OpenOCD installed for some reason. I'm not sure why. So there is it built. And if we go over here to the flash mode, it writes it off. Now, on these guys with the two ports, there's two ports here. This one's a USB. I'm not sure what exactly it does with it. Still haven't figured it out. But this is the USB bridge programming port, the upper one. So you need to make sure you're plugged into that one. So this is programming the ESP32 ESP's way. Now on Adafruit, if you look in their download directory for CircuitPython, there is preliminary stuff for CircuitPython for these boards now, for the S3s. And the S2s, I believe, or they already had those, but the S3s, they finally got stuff. And the Pico W, or known now as PyCow, has preliminary Wi-Fi working from Adafruit. To the point, at least, you can actually query a web page and do SSL and stuff like that. Although I heard that on those, the code at the moment is a real pig. For your 1 meg of storage that you have, half of it is used up by the CircuitPython layout, leaving you like 512 bytes of working space for actual programs. They said they're going to compress it and work on it to squeeze. Jepler said basically he thinks he can get it down to using only about a quarter of the space. So you might get about 750K out of it instead of 512K. 512K? Yeah, 1 meg, 512K. Yeah, that's right. Have to remember the math in my head. So that was one I was working on. I did update the platform IO also, but that really I don't have to do much. It does it on its own. Now, I can actually program for this through the platform IO also. Now, I'm not sure. I haven't checked for this yet, but I think the 5.0 framework from ESP also contains, I think they got preliminary stuff for running Arduino on here instead. So an Arduino framework on these controllers. Now, I also got running the release version of 2.0 Arduino. Okay. So this is working just fine. I just happen to have in here, I think, a test program for the ESP32 dev stuff. But it seems to be working fine. One thing I did find out, the line in here, this is the new line for ESP right here, the second one. They replaced the older line, and they split apart some of the board's definitions. There's also a Citron one for the RP2040 boards from them. You can add that in. It adds a whole bunch of different RP2040 boards into this system. So you can program those with this interface now. It's a lot faster than the 1.8 interface. Now, I haven't tried doing some stuff with the Platform IO. Now, the other thing in Platform IO, it has been fixed for a while now, if you try it out again. When you import an Arduino project with the .ino file, you do not have to convert it to an extension of CPP. It's actually now handled correctly. That was a problem in the early Platform IO stuff I was doing about a year ago. I had to convert stuff. It wasn't major. You just renamed the file, and then in the file you added include arduino.h. But it was just, annoying. But now apparently you don't have to do that anymore. I'm just going to close this off so we don't destroy it. Yes, William can do that very easily. File, close folder. There we go. Now, nice thing when you're programming in C for these things, unplugging them doesn't do anything. It's not like you're going to trash the drive like in CircuitPython, which don't do in CircuitPython. So if you're using CircuitPython controllers, remember, safely remove them as USB storage devices. Otherwise, you can corrupt the FAT12 file system. And you'll be wondering why things aren't working correctly and lines of code and files are disappearing for no reason. So make sure you don't do that. Now, according to KDE Neon, they are literally this close to pushing out the 2204 distro update for KDE Neon. They said all the packaging is basically done. They're just fine-tuning a couple. There was a little bit of a mini survey, I think about a week ago or whatever. They were asking people if they wanted it now or wait about another week or so for the few other packages like Firefox and stuff to be actual deb packages inside of it. Hey, wow. This is crooked. Really crooked. Holy schmoly. I didn't even realize that this whole thing is... I'll have to straighten this out. Yeah, I'll need a breadboard to help me with this. I didn't even realize that this one was that badly soldered. You'd think these guys would know better. This is the Mini S3. So I have a bunch of different ones. What else is in my OS that I updated? Usual Chrome crap. I think they finally fixed the damn USB bug with the cameras and stuff like that. So things are actually working correctly again. Now, I had picked up, so I have this thing here, which is I've been working on, the ESP32 cam. I actually had it, I bought an ESP I, EYI, the new version of it that actually has the ESP32 S3, 4 meg of RAM, 8 meg of storage. So 4 meg of PS RAM, 8 meg of storage. And I misplaced the board. Don't know where I put it, and I don't know where I have it. So I'm still hunting for it, and I have to do a bunch of board cataloging too. But I'm hoping in another week or so I will have the programmers for the retro tester, and then we can program the thing and then try it out. Because right now I think it's all complete except for needing the firmware on it. And I'll find out. So that is the update for today. I think this weekend I might work on the Bluetooth speaker or the car. I haven't decided yet what I want to do. Or do a lot of sorting, which I have to do. So, and I might move this marble mouse to the other machine and bring the other one over here. I have now found the flaw in these. This surface wears out. Unlike the solid blue ones, with the blue marble here, these guys have a problem. Their surface gets grunged. So that is it. I am going to up this to the net, of course, and I'll let you go. So have a nice evening. Bye.